This is the crazy story of the man who took 40,000 ecstasy pills. I wrote this story a few years ago in the Face magazine, and it's the most successful story I've ever worked on to date. People just couldn't believe that it was true, but it is true. I fact-checked it. It was from a scientific journal, and then I even tracked down the researcher as well, and then interviewed him to make sure that it was all true. So if you want to know what happened to the guy who took the most ecstasy pills ever known to man, then carry on watching it. The most ecstasy pills ever taken by one man on record is 40,000. The researchers referred to the man as Mr. A, and he necked these pills between the ages of 21 and 30, so it took him 9 years to get through that many pills. And as you can imagine, when someone is necking pills like they're multivitamins, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. In fact, it did mess him up pretty bad. The story of Mr. A was told in this 2006 case report, which was published at the time in the Psychiatry Journal of Psychosomatics. The author of the study was a guy called 𝙀𝙘𝙨𝙪𝙖𝙨. I actually tracked him down to have a chat, and he was the psychiatrist who helped this guy. So after 9 years of hammering ecstasy so much, he came for some help from this guy. And he actually treated him. And he said that for the first 2 years, Mr. A took 5 pills a weekend. But after 2 years, it escalated to around an average of 3.5 pills a day. That lasted for around 3 years, and then it massively escalated to 25 pills a day. That's according to the report and according to what he told me. That 25 a day went on for 4 years. So his lifetime intake of ecstasy, according to the researcher, is 40,000. This video is brought to you by Easy Test Kits, quick, reliable and affordable drug testing kits for all your favorite party prescriptions. They are presumptive testing kits that can give you a very good indication as to what is in your baggie. Remember, you can only make informed decisions when you've got a good idea of what you're dealing with. If you want to learn more or buy a testing kit yourself, head to the description below and use my promo code SESH for a 10% discount. Now, you've got to remember that at the time, which was the early 2000s, the pills were very, very weak. They might only have contained a very small amount of ecstasy, so he was taking huge. If you took that amount now, you would almost certainly die, in my opinion. But they were very weak at the time, but this guy was taking a huge, ridiculous amount. Mr. A was brought to my attention because of his memory difficulties. That's what the researcher told me. That was his main problem. At that point, when he sought help, he was 37 and he didn't take pills anymore. He was hospitalized 7 years previously because he kept collapsing at house parties, and that's why he stopped taking the pills at the age of 30. Apparently, there was so much ecstasy still in his system that even after he stopped taking the pills, he was still high for months. But this wasn't a fun high. He wasn't in the hospital having a great time. In fact, he was suffering from several episodes of tunnel vision. And that's the loss of your peripheral vision, or anything that goes on in the extremities of your vision. You can only see straight ahead. So he suffered from that and massive problems to his short-term memory and a load of other things. Severe panic attacks, severe depression, reoccurring anxiety, functional hallucinations, muscles being very rigid, especially in the neck and jaw, and paranoid ideation. It's an extraordinary case because of the amount of drugs involved, but also because someone became dependent on ecstasy when you wouldn't really consider ecstasy a drug of dependency, because it lasts so long that it isn't really more-ish. People often take 1 or 2 doses of ecstasy in a night, and then they're fine. They don't really feel the urge to take any more, or they don't take it again for a month or 2. It is far less dangerous than many other drugs, the researcher told me. But excessive use of any drug, legal or illegal, he said, can lead to serious problems. This was an exceptional case, he said, of very high use over a very prolonged period of time. Typical use is not every day and not in them amounts. This was an extreme case. His use was very, very high. Then he went into withdrawals, and he was actually unable to move or get out of the bed for weeks. So I asked him what possesses a man to take so many pills that it could get the incredible Hulk high. And the researcher said, quote, "As far as I remember, he had very easy access to ecstasy. He was very into the club scene, providing ecstasy for him and his friends," end quote. So I imagine that he was actually in some way of supplying the ecstasy, so he had access to huge amounts. Quote, "It was more about managing his mood rather than having excitement and fun." That's what the researcher said. So he was actually using ecstasy as an antidepressant, which is a terrible idea. You need to take big breaks in between taking ecstasy. As you know, ecstasy works on the serotonin pathways in your brain and in your central nervous system. The serotonin receptors, the things that receive the neurotransmitter from one neuron to the other, they get depleted, and you have to wait at least a month, if not 2 or 3, for those to fully replenish. That's why you have to have big breaks in between ecstasy sessions. Serotonin is responsible for sleep and mood regulation, amongst other things, which means that if you haven't got them serotonin receptors, then you could end up feeling extremely down during the week. That's what the come down is. If you're taking it every day, that's disastrous, because you're not going to allow the serotonin receptors to increase. Now, all these effects might not have been from the ecstasy, because according to the case study, Mr. A was also using other drugs, benzos, speed, LSD, heroin, and boffin gas. So he was doing a lot of other drugs, so we can't establish a firm causal effect between these, between the ecstasy and these effects. But you know, if you're taking that much over 9 years, you would have thought it had something to do with it. It's very difficult to establish a cause in medicine, the researcher told me. You cannot say 100%, but he thought that you could, quote, "safely say that the memory difficulties were as a result of prolonged exposure to ecstasy." And that was the main problem with Mr. A. Despite the tunnel vision, despite the depression, despite the anxiety, the biggest issue that Mr. A had was the short-term memory loss. His short-term memory was finished. When the researchers did memory tests with Mr. A, they concluded that he was suffering from, quote, "poor concentration, disorientation to time, and short-term memory problems." They had to explain the memory test to him many times. Quote, "His concentration and attention was so impaired that he could not follow the sequence of tasks that he was asked to do." There was one drug that he was still using at the time when he went to get help, and that was cannabis. He was still smoking weed, and when he stopped doing that, his paranoid ideas and hallucinations reduced, but the other problems persisted. His short-term memory was so fucked that he couldn't even remember what items he'd put in the shopping basket whilst he was stood in the supermarket. He couldn't remember what happened 10 minutes ago. Mr. A's case study is completely unique. It's incredibly unusual for someone to take that much ecstasy, and it's unlikely to ever be repeated. He was, quote, "using ecstasy as an antidepressant." It's a fascinating case study, but it certainly cannot be used to generalize across all people that take MDMA, because nobody is ever likely to ever use that amount again. He was taking, for instance, what many people would take over a period of years in one day. We need to be careful about how we use these extreme examples, the researcher said to me, because some people might say, well, I've used a lot of ecstasy and I've had no problems with my memory. And that's because of the extreme level of use that he had. Ecstasy is a pretty relatively safe drug compared to many other drugs, certainly. And if you use it responsibly, not taking over the recommended dose and leaving big breaks in between using it, it's extremely unlikely that you would suffer ill effects at all. So what happened to Mr. A in the end? That was my final question for the researcher. They got him into a home for people with memory problems. That's what the researcher told me. And then one day he just disappeared from the unit. He completely disengaged with all the services and just disappeared into thin air. The researcher never saw him again. Sometimes I do wonder what's happened to Mr. A. Is he okay? What's he doing now? I genuinely do think these things. Mr. A, if you're watching it, reach out to me. I'd love to have a chat. As always, thanks for watching. If you find these videos useful or interesting, please do me a favor, subscribe and click the bell notification next to my name to get the videos first.